Hello, and welcome to ShePak Unleashed. I'm one of your hosts, Tania.
I'm Nichole. Welcome to your weekly dose of candid discussion and the pursuit of finding your tribe in this journey of motherhood, womanhood, and sisterhood.
I'm Ashley. Join us as we leave no stone unturned. In each episode, we have heart-to-heart conversations that aim to challenge and empower one another.
I'm Jenny. No more waiting. ShePak Unleashed begins now.
On this week's episode, she eats, she sips, she conquers Epcot in 18 hours. We did it.
I'm
What
still
a
tired.
day. So tired.
But so much fun.
It was
much
a
fun.
great time.
So this all escalated within a 24-hour planning period, as things often do with the ShePak.
Me, I'm the problem.
From idea to tickets purchased.
Okay, so it started with I follow somebody on TikTok who does day trips on the East Coast.
Yep.
She does all these day trips on the East Coast all the time, and I'm like, I want to do like a day trip.
Is she the one that does like the resort passes when she goes places?
But she goes to I think she lives in DC and she goes like direct flights all over up and down the East Coast.
Okay.
And just does it in a day. Like
I
leaves
love
in the
that.
morning and comes back at night. Like
So your first thought is like, I can do that too. Not only can I,
yeah.
but should I? And I need to prove that I can.
We are centrally located on
That
the
would
coast.
not be my first thought.
I want to. Right. And I've been wanting to go to Epcot Food and Wine Festival. I haven't been in like, I don't know, I feel like 10 plus years, probably longer than that actually. And we could do Epcot in a day, right? Like there's a direct flight from Raleigh. It's less than 2 hours. Direct flight there, direct flight back. And then we just go. We take the Sky Bus.
It's a great sky bus.
Yeah.
So we did.
So we did.
And we're here to tell the tale.
We did the damn thing.
Yep.
So yeah, I left my house at 6 a.m. and I got back to my house at midnight. And it was the day after my birthday. So
It was birthday.
pitched
trip.
it as a birthday trip, and I was not convinced. I thought we had maybe a 50-50 chance of actually making it home, to the point where I blocked my calendar Tuesday morning, and I was saving hotel points just in case we needed a hotel in
To
Orlando.
be clear, Jenny and I were going to be the problem. We were literally going to like sabotage the trip if we could so that we would have to stay the night.
to see the fireworks.
We really wanted to see the fireworks on
But
the lake.
I was wrong. I was wrong.
so
It was
dumb.
totally doable. You were right.
But you also, as we were walking into, you're like, we're actually here. And I was like, hello, hi.
I was
I was so amazed.
Let's talk about the craziness that is walking onto a plane with literally one purse.
nothing
So
on
Into
you.
weird.
an airport with one purse.
It felt weird.
Very
and that
weird.
was it. Like it was the most bizarre experience as parents, right? Like
Yeah.
never in my life have I ever had that happen.
I
And it
kept
was-
asking you guys, am I forgetting things? Like,
know.
why am I ready? This is weird.
Yeah, so I had Rapunzel, you had Tinkerbell,
Uh-huh.
Sleeping Beauty.
Sleeping Beauty,
Jasmine.
and Jasmine, and I loved it so much. I lost count of how many compliments we got on those shirts.
So many compliments.
Yeah.
It was a
Swifties
hit.
in the wild.
And matching hats, so we didn't get sunburn on our faces.
Yeah.
That was good.
And the star of the show was my sunglass holder chain.
Yes, Grandma. It was
Pulled a
great.
full send on the grandma sunglasses chain.
that like held onto my sunglasses. So
Okay,
You had a
but it
chain
was
for everything.
practical.
Yeah.
You had like a bag. I don't know what was in it because your sunglasses had a chain, your cell phone had a chain. Like everybody had their own chain to hang on.
Yeah.
So wait, that was my first lesson learned of the trip, and we'll have more of them as we go. But we had this adorable little like shorts and skirt combo set, but it only had one pocket built into the shorts. Not having two pockets was a critical mistake on my part, and never again will I only have one pocket and my bag, because I was taking my bag off every
Yes.
5 seconds. It was driving me nuts.
I wore the
Double chain.
capris that I had for swim team that had two pockets zippered. And I normally wear leggings there, and I really liked having the zippered pocket option.
Well, I
So
would have worn
think
my
that
leggings
would have been
had the pockets. However, it was 93 degrees.
felt like
Actual
105.
It was so hot.
We were, I mean, just dripping sweat.
Yep.
It was so
Let the record
hot.
show that when this originally came up, we were like, how about election day? We can all vote early and then go on election day in November. It'll be pleasant. And Nichole was like,
It'll be
too
freezing.
cold. So we went September 30th.
Florida cold, though.
And it was 105.
I mean, I didn't say it wouldn't be warm in September. I just said in November it would be cold.
Next time around,
Our
we go
definitions
in
of cold
November.
are different.
and we bring sweatshirts. And
Like this
we
one.
do it on a Friday and not on a Monday.
I
y'all.
prefer to be hot versus cold.
We can agree to disagree.
We're bundling you up enough that you'll be hot, girl.
Yes, we'll get you like a heated blanket
Like
under your
I get
sweatshirt.
so angry. Also when I'm hot, but also when I'm cold. Like
Yeah, I hear
Eating
you.
hot food when
That
it
was
was that
hard.
hot outside
Yes.
proved to be very challenging for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's talk about the order of the day and what we ate. I know you have the
I have
menu,
the menu.
but I
Excellent.
did make the comment to Nichole. It's like, I can't believe we're here, because people kept asking me like, what are you doing for your birthday? And I was like, oh, nothing really. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, well, my crazy friend wants to see if we can go to Epcot and back in a day. And there was just a part of me, I don't know, I guess I was reluctant to get too excited because it's hurricane season. And I was like, the flights are going to get delayed or somebody's going to get sick. Like, it just felt like there's no way we can pull this off. And you're right. It wasn't until the flight was on time, if not early, right onto a lift, right into the front of Epcot, like dancing in, walking in, that I was like, I can't believe we're actually here. And we walked in at like 10:30 before the Food and Wine Festival had even officially opened.
Yeah, we
Well,
thought we
there
were
was
going to
no
get in there
checking
for
into a
snacks.
hotel. There was no
No.
like it. We just waltzed
in. Just like, who,
That must
who
be
knew?
what locals feel like. Just
Yeah.
showing up for the day.
I think it's interesting because I went to school in Florida and I grew up in Florida. So like for me, we did a lot of like I lived across the street from Busch Gardens. So I did a lot of like
Yeah.
park day trips.
Yeah.
So like when you guys were like park day trip, I was like, don't you always do like
No, it was so foreign to me.
concept.
I have
Like,
never been
big-
there without staying with many people and like a week long, like planning like a big orchestrated thing. And it was so nice. It really was. And I'm very grateful and recognize the privilege we have to take the time and spend the money, mostly paid for by points from our fairy godmother, to make it happen. So
Sponsored by Cozy Quarters.
Love it.
So we walked in, and the Food and Wine Festival didn't actually open until 11. So I think our first order of business was I wanted a birthday pin because I thought that would get us a little magic.
for sure.
And you wanted sunscreen.
I needed sunscreen because you didn't. That was the only thing about coming is like you can't bring sunscreen on a plane.
Yeah.
Can't get it through security, so I needed to get sunscreen. Little pasty girl
Yeah.
burn, so I needed to get sunscreen.
So I didn't love that because we had to like walk. I'm very much like normally when I go there, I'm like, this is the way, this is the time, these are the things booked. And so it was hard for me to like slow my pace of walking and like.
Was there slowing pace of
oh my gosh, you two were like
Rewire my
running.
brain.
No, you guys were like running.
Because
Tania and I
I
were
was
like,
in
have fun, we'll
Disney
catch up.
mode. I was in Disney mode, and I don't
There was
like to
no
backtrack.
slowing.
I have the shortest legs here.
I don't
Amazing.
understand. If that was slow for you, please, I don't know if we could ever go to Disney together.
I slowed down after Soarin'.
After Soarin', and I had to have a come to Jesus talk in the Soarin' line. I was like, if y'all want to keep that pace, Godspeed, and I will have to meet you in Canada because I am not keeping that pace. And it was fine after
It was.
that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we rode Soarin' first, and that was, I think, your first time maybe on
This
Soarin'.
was my first time on Soarin'.
It's been more than 20 years since I've been to Disney, so it was all new
fun.
for me.
And then we started with
We started in
Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese. We had truffle mac and cheese. Photo here.
And the pimento cheese with the pork rind.
Yeah, and the pimento cheese with the pork rinds.
Yeah.
Those were good.
That was one of my favorites of the day.
Mine too. It set the bar high.
Maybe also because it was early and I was still fresh.
I would
and
have
it
liked the
tasted really good.
pimento with
Yeah.
a different type of dipper. I didn't love the pork rinds personally.
Ooh, I like
I would have liked like a different dipper, but I appreciated it. Team cheese.
Yes.
Team cheese.
We ate all the cheese.
We ate all the cheese
We
because there was
did.
a special quest to get that was my favorite thing, what we got at the end.
Meals, fromage, montage.
Yes.
Right?
So then we left that area and we walked up to kind of the entrance before the 11 countries. Tania got us these tattoos where we could check off the 11 main countries. Problematic that those are the countries they included, and conversation for another day, but let's just put that aside for a minute. And then they had a couple stands along the way that are different countries that are not normally represented. So we went to Hawaii,
Hawaii was its own little kiosk
It was
first.
like a little kiosk.
Yep.
which was my favorite a day. There was like a pork sandwich with pineapple.
Yeah, like a shredded pork slider with pineapple chutney.
That
And
was
then
my
it had the
favorite.
spam and rice that was my other favorite dish.
Oh yeah, you
It was
really liked the spam rice.
delicious.
I'm not like a spam. It was
didn't-
very salty.
It was.
I might have
was
liked
like
it better
very,
if
like,
I didn't
sushi-ish.
know it was spam.
Oh, interesting.
savory / sushi feel to it.
Yeah,
and it just
yeah,
really
I
struck
liked
a chord
it.
for me. I liked it.
We also did the mimosas.
The
We
mimosa
got the
The mimosas
flight.
were so good.
Yep.
Highly recommend the mimosa flight.
Then we went to Australia.
Yeah.
Mexico.
Oh, Australia.
Australia. And
Oh,
we had
yeah.
the grilled bushberry spice shrimp skewers.
Those were spicy.
They looked
Yeah.
good. I can't eat shrimp, so I couldn't speak to that, but they looked good.
Yeah, they were. They
And
were
those
generous
came on
size.
a bed of like green beans too. So if anyone was going and looking for like a little bit of a veggie, there was actually like a sizable portion of
Blasphemy.
veggies with it too.
Yeah. The portions in general were like really decent, I thought.
Yeah.
They were like a whole plate. Well,
Yeah, so we ended up
Some of
getting
them
like
was.
one of the dishes and sharing between the four of us.
Yeah.
Each of the dishes, minus Jenny and the seafood dishes. I just threw
I
the
think
thing.
that's important clarification is we weren't each ordering. We were ordering one and getting a lot of food.
Absolutely.
yeah. Same with our drinks too, sharing. Because
Yeah.
was it you that got us the straws?
I did. I got us
straws?
some disposable plastic straws because I understand we want to save the turtles, but paper straws are my sensory ick. I also don't like metal straws. So
Yeah, I don't
You
either.
got reusable, not
Reusable
disposable.
silicone.
They were reusable
Silicone
silicone,
straws.
and they had
Yeah.
their own little case, and they actually folded up into the case, so we had those clipped onto our purses. It was perfect.
It was great because we could just share things.
I thought
so
it was.
easy.
I didn't know if they were going to be useful or not, and we absolutely used them.
You know, we live, you learn. We also got to walk through the new Moana garden with the water
Oh, it
feature,
was
which was
beautiful.
refreshing. Okay, so then after Hawaii,
Mexico.
I'm looking at my pictures to keep me
Mexico.
organized.
I
So we
thought
started in
so,
Mexico
too.
because there is only one way to walk around the world, and I firmly believe you start in
That's
Mexico.
hilarious. I would like to go the opposite way just to like
Just because people say you shouldn't.
Yes.
We should ask our viewers if you walk around the world in Epcot, where do you start?
Because isn't Canada the other side?
Canada's the other side. I feel
Canada
like
and
if you
UK.
come in
Yeah.
from the International Gateway on the Skyliner, maybe you start in France and go the other way. Maybe.
Possibly, yeah, because
Possibly.
there's something right behind France.
So Mexico, we had the barbacoa,
We also had the shrimp.
and there was a
tostada.
corn chocolate.
Yeah, like a polenta dessert.
Yeah,
Dessert.
the cornbread with chocolate sauce and queso fresco.
I really liked the barbacoa personally. I thought that was quite yummy. I did not like the gentleman who wouldn't move over to give us even an ounce of shade. He took up the whole bench by
Like,
himself.
remind you, Florida, September, sunny, not a lot of shade at Epcot.
No,
in
but I
general.
also feel like they're people weren't being very mindful of their personal space. Like if that was me, I would have been like, let me move over a little so you guys can, have the other half. But
and it was not overly crowded
No.
either. Like it could have
No,
been
I was
a lot more
pleasantly
crowded.
surprised.
Yeah, that was my other second mistake. Is I typically bring a super teeny tiny packable umbrella for shade, not
Yeah.
for rain, for shade.
yeah.
And I forgot my umbrella, and I was deeply regretting that.
but
But we
Mexico,
had neck fans. You had some neck
had
fans.
some
The neck fans were great.
we had
Helped
there was a
lot.
spicy margarita there that
Yeah,
I was not a
the
fan
Yes,
of.
you guys
Sunrise
learned you don't like
margarita.
mezcal.
I kind of knew that I didn't like anything spicy or anything tequila, but I was like there for the vibes.
That's when I also got the strawberry margarita, and
That was
sucker
good.
was
Oh, yeah.
strong.
Yeah, that might have what took you down.
Dehydrated.
I was already getting dehydrated.
Yeah.
But
And I had drank a lot of water that morning and like on the plane too, and it hit me real hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the barbacoa is good. And then next we went to China. There were dumplings, chicken dumplings,
Yep.
some sort of ramen dish.
The duck buns while the
While the
birds
ducks-
are
Oh my
hanging next to the ducks.
The ducks were
That was
begging
so
for us
funny.
to feed them, but we were.
That went away. That was one of the only.
There are
for the
also
day.
some drinks. I got a mango drink there that was
The
non-alcoholic.
mango peach
that
bubble
saved me.
tea.
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like that was
yeah.
very hydrating and like hit the spot and kept me from having a moment later.
And then we had the Fiery Dream one, which was the citrus vodka, triple sec liqueur, guava nectar, and spicy hot honey syrup.
Yeah.
Yes, because we took a sip of that and it was all hot at the bottom.
Yeah.
It needed a little mix.
Needed a mix, but it was good. It
was
liked
good.
It.
That was good.
The dumplings I remember being good.
The dumplings were good. There were only 2 of them. I would have liked more. Like that might have been one I could have ordered
That was
double.
one of the feedbacks I had seen from other, folks on TikTok was saying that the food was tasty, but it was a little overpriced for the size that you got in China in particular.
I feel like it depended because the noodles, we got a huge amount of portion of the noodles,
was a
and it
decent
wasn't
size on the noodles.
and it wasn't that expensive.
I think the dumplings, that's, yeah.
But the
then
duck bun was literally
Yeah.
just one
One of
bun,
them.
and then 2 dumplings.
But then in India, which
Yeah.
happened next,
Oh
that
my
there
gosh,
was
those were
a
huge
tiki
portions.
masala, which was a huge portion. That could have been dinner for more than one person with naan, and it was just a little too spicy for me. Like I really wanted to like it.
I really wanted to eat more of that.
I think in different weather, maybe we could.
Yeah, we were
Yes.
also really hot.
Yeah.
We also had the potato
The samosas.
samosas.
They were big, like fist
that was
size.
my favorite drink of the day. The one that tasted, it was a
The
mango
mango
lassi, but it had
not like it.
I know, but it was. I mean, mango and chai are two of my very favorite flavors, and they're very distinct.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
had chai cream liqueur in
I
it.
thought it was so good.
Yeah. I thought it was really good too.
I was like, nope.
Well,
And it had a texture too of a mango lassi.
It was delicious.
I also think
Not refreshing at
Not
the time,
refreshing,
but very
but
tasty.
Yeah, I also think it was like the cream at the moment. I was like cream in the heat.
Yeah.
I was like not feeling.
Oh, I was like, this is my happy adult milkshake. Leave me here. I'm good to go. So that was
The
my
tea
favorite.
masala was really good, and then we got in the Outpost the chocolate mousse thing.
No, I had seen a dessert online, and I had like thought it up in my head. Come to find out, it wasn't that one.
Oh,
It was in
interesting.
France. It was an eclair with ice cream in the middle. So I led us astray.
No, it was
was
one that
good.
I had seen people were raving about.
The
though.
dome
the
one.
big dome.
Yeah.
It was like
Dome one.
chocolate mousse, and it
White
and
chocolate shell.
It was very, very, very rich.
Yes.
It's also really sweet.
Yeah, because
like-
it was like the white chocolate,
Yeah.
lighter stuff.
Yeah, I was good with like
It was a
bite.
good portion though.
Yes.
But yeah, that was a
Yeah.
good portion.
And it was tasty.
There were also drinks there. I couldn't tell you what they were.
Oh, it was a iced lemonade.
it was boozy
Like a frozen
lemonade.
lemonade.
Yeah.
and a frozen
Lemonade
mango
and a
thing.
frozen
Mango rum something.
Yeah, that might have been when the tequila kicked in for me because I ordered everything at the Outpost without even thinking.
Yeah, you did have a lot of Outpost ordering.
Which I just feel like it's problematic that it like they just hunch all of Africa except for Morocco into like this random outpost. But conversation for another day.
I would have liked more food selection for.
I agree from the different countries.
Yeah. But then when right after we did the Outpost, I think we were all so hot and everybody we didn't really do much in Germany.
We took a picture.
We took a picture, but we didn't really eat anything because we were just hot.
And Spain was there too, right? Because there was the
Yeah.
charcuterie board
And
that
Italy.
I really wanted.
But they were both really cheesy menus. The line was in full sun.
Yep.
And we were like, we don't think we can do another hot thing right now and wait in
Even
the
the
sun.
charcuterie, something about like
Melty
deli meat in the
cheese.
heat.
yeah,
Just,
Yeah.
I really wanted that.
I know.
charcuterie
I mean,
board.
we'll have to go back.
I'm here.
But we did kind of power walk there to the point where our heart rates were up and we were like, we need AC.
So we went to America.
America.
They have America, where they have AC, and the MVP of the trip was the America floor.
Oh my god.
oh yeah, the big
so we
marble
were-
floor.
We
heat
were
sink.
passing through, right? Like past Greece, past.
We didn't go to Greece
No,
yet.
not
but
yet.
We went
Yeah.
Italy.
It was Italy. And Italy, we had
and
heard
Spain.
online that the food wasn't that good.
Yeah.
So, like, we took a picture, but we weren't slowing down for it.
And I could feel myself like I was really genuinely starting to feel unwell. And I was like, I need to sit down and like find somewhere cool. And Nichole just like beelined. And I just remember looking at your back and just following you because I was really like
That's
on the verge of
scary.
possibly passing out. And it wasn't alcohol related. It was entirely
the
the
heat.
heat.
and I was like,
dehydration.
watch, let's go to America. They definitely have AC
So I
there.
followed
For
her
sure.
in, and we go in, and there's this like a cappella choir.
They were so
singing
good.
They
in
were
the middle of the
beautiful.
rotunda in there doing a performance. And so we like sneak in, and there were benches around every wall, all over the place in this pavilion, and the AC was
Cranking.
cranking,
Yeah.
right? And so we sat down on the benches over in the corner. We were listening to the nice music. It was really, really nice. And then at one point, I just started doing this. I was like,
leaning over to her left.
I need to
and
go sit on the floor now.
And I had already gone to the floor because
Yeah.
I needed to sit against the wall for like some back support.
Yeah, yeah.
And the marble was like so cold on my butt and legs that I was like,
So at first I had sat down.
we live
right?
here now.
I sat down and my knees were up, and then I like just laid my legs out straight, and my whole legs hit that marble floor, and I
Right,
was
'cause
like,
you guys were in the skirt.
yeah.
okay, and it made all the difference
Yeah.
for me. And then at some point, I did full send lay down on the floor.
Yeah, but we spent
After the
like,
performance was over.
25 to 30 minutes just chilling
It was a good
out
pit stop.
in America. We didn't get any of the food there because we don't need any of the food.
It was
It was
like
all hot
heavy hot
dogs.
dogs,
Yeah.
and that just didn't feel good for my stomach or my temperature.
Well, and
Yeah.
funnel cake, but like
Yeah.
the state fair is happening right now.
Maybe it's
America, AC.
I will
Yeah.
say, so I had seen people talk about the bathrooms in the America Pavilion were like very spacious, heavily AC'd, right? And so like if you needed a pit stop there, I had seen that recommended. I had never seen anyone talk about like the Hall of Presidents in that area. So if you need to cool down, go to the
that was a great
Pavilion.
Well,
spot.
it's a nice central location. You're about
Yep.
halfway
Yeah.
Yeah.
around. Then we went to Japan, and I got to do something I have always wanted to do. So thank you for
yeah.
being patient. But you can go into the store there and you can pick an oyster, and then they will to do.
Ooh, that's good that you get to do it.
I didn't even know that was
yeah.
a thing.
Yeah, I've never been to Epcot as a grown up without kids. I even offered it to my daughter, and she didn't want to. So it was just like it was.
See,
It was
fun
nice. It
splurge.
was nice to see you happy doing that.
Thank
You've been
you.
very
Yeah.
excited.
So I did. I got a pearl.
But I could not imagine working there because they beat on those drums
And sing the
after
same
every
song.
single
Over and
time. And we sat through
over.
like 3 of them, and I was like,
he
I'm
was
done.
so nice. So shout out to the people that work in
They
that.
were all very lovely.
Very lovely.
Yes.
But I was like, absolutely not. I cannot be in here for another second. Like,
Yeah.
3 of those songs in a row, and I was like, we done. We done.
That's why he was like, "Let me teach you to count in Japanese." I was like, "I got it.
Yeah, I feel like I heard you several times already. Count
I
up.
got it." But he was so nice.
But we didn't actually eat anything in Japan.
No, because it was
No,
like
we
hand rolls
didn't.
of sushi.
It was
and
Yeah, it was
sushi, and I think we
sushi.
were all kind of like not feeling that right now.
We
Yeah.
were too overheated.
But then we did go to Greece.
Was Greece next, or was it Morocco?
We got food in Greece and we walked into the Morocco Pavilion. and
that's what we
drank
did.
All of it
because we were
into the
sitting
Morocco
back in
Pavilion.
that.
What did
was
we
it
get
called?
in Greece, Nichole?
We got the grilled cheese with pistachio and honey.
I loved
It
that.
was really
Gyro.
good. And the Euro. The
Gyro.
Euro was actually really good.
Yeah, it was.
I like a good Euro, though.
We got sangria, white sangria from Morocco.
Yeah.
So for anyone who doesn't know, when you go to the Morocco Pavilion, which might be my favorite place in all of Epcot,
So
it's
beautiful.
gorgeous in there. They do such a good job. And then in like you have to wander your way to the back, and there's just this one little door, and you see a sangria thing, and they give you 2 for 1, like shareable sangria. So you get 2 giant cups of iced sangria. So it was very cool and refreshing as far as alcoholic beverages go for $22,
In
right?
the shade.
In the
In the
shade.
shade.
And then we took that, and I had picked this up from TikTok. Someone shared the Florida Blue Lounge that is hosted by
Blue Cross Blue
Cross
Shield.
Blue Shield. And so all you had to do was like register online, and like I haven't gotten any spam emails from them or anything. Literally, it just gave you like a access code to get into the lounge for free. There was no charge for any of it, but it was AC delightful. You could make like your own little mosaic thing back there, but we brought all of our food and drinks into that area, so there was no restrictions.
Yeah.
And we just got to like hang out for
That was
20 minutes.
so nice.
It
And
was
they
nice.
did have free water there, and there was tea, and there was flavored water, and then the mosaic. So there were things to do in there. And
Yeah.
I've been to Epcot many times. I didn't realize that was there, or
Yeah.
maybe when I had been there before COVID, it was.
There are like one at the beginning, which is an actual water like refill station, and then basically it was the water fountains, which were
By
as
the
hot
bathrooms,
as
right?
They were
Satan's.
so
Yeah, they were.
hot.
Like the water was as hot as Satan's butthole in it.
It's true. About this time, we started asking for cups of ice.
Just,
Yeah.
just let it melt.
to let it melt and have cold water.
Well, and
Well,
I
to put
had,
the ice in our water bottle.
Yeah.
I had brought us one refillable like water container for the day that we just like shared.
That was mistake number 3 for me.
Yeah.
I should have brought my metal
Well,
water
you said
bottle.
you didn't want to bring it, and I was like, "Are you sure?"
I didn't have room. I had a tripod in my backpack that we never once used.
Yeah.
So now I know, like, water bottle instead of tripod.
Yeah.
Because you can always ask people
Nichole
for help.
did a really good job of being like, drink water, drink water.
You
drink
did,
water.
yeah.
Definitely the trip mom.
I've never seen you play that role with us before with water,
Well, I
but
feel
your
like
Florida
because my
kicked in.
Florida kicked in. 'Cause y'all don't know that Florida heat is coming, and like you're
Yep.
not used to that dehydrating
No.
Florida. Like, and I grew up in Florida, so like I feel like the Florida was like, I'm like, all right, y'all aren't drinking enough water,
we were definitely sweating faster than we were.
Yeah, with no
Yeah.
concept of
at
it.
all.
and like I don't like sweating does not bother me as much because I feel like it's like I just did it so much as like a kid.
Yeah.
Like, you're just always sweating in Florida.
I didn't mind the sweat.
Yeah,
Like, to be clear, I live in North Carolina my whole life, right? Like, I'm okay with sweating. It was all of the effects
And the
of
walk,
it
there's
that
so much
happened
walking.
so fast. It
Yeah.
was rough.
and Florida heat is just such a different beast in my opinion.
It
It's
is.
just
The
a
humidity
different-
is
Yeah, the
thick.
humidity was like 110.
But when the sun was behind the clouds, it was actually quite pleasant.
Yeah.
You know,
Thank God the
and
sun was behind the clouds for
not-
most of the day.
Yeah, not the whole time, but
Yeah. But we didn't actually eat anything in Morocco. We just stayed in the Morocco pavilion.
It smelled so good.
did.
there were
It looked
kebabs
good.
that I really would have
but
enjoyed.
like, we
But
were running out of food space at that time.
we
in
were
our
running out of
stomach.
food
We
space.
were.
I also was very motivated by the cheese
France
because there
calling
was
me.
you had to do a certain amount of cheese dishes to get the prize, and so that was like
The
anchoring
cheese
me.
prize.
Yeah, we wanted a souvenir.
Yeah, but we did grab things in Belgium.
Yeah, we had the beer braised beef.
Which was really good.
Would have been
Smoked
so
Gouda mashed potatoes. It was
good, but it
so
was so hot.
Like burnt my tongue.
Yeah, it was so hot, and then I was hot, so I wanted to eat more of it because I knew I needed vegetable and.
Wait, the ride
Before the
happened
food.
before
Oh,
The ride
Ride
was
happened.
great.
So we had talked about trying to sneak in a ride or two, right?
yeah.
And we ended up we got back there with a good amount of time. I was like, we should try to do Remy's, and the wait was like 45 minutes, right? And so
Well, and I had
Remy's
bought
would be worth it.
I had bought the lightning thing when we got to the park for everybody, and
The
I
morning
assumed
that we
the morning
arrived.
we arrived, and I was like, okay. Previously, you could not book it until day of, and you'd book things as you went for like
Yep.
every couple hours. So I had thought that we would just like book the lightning lanes.
They changed the rules.
They
on
changed
us.
the rules, and like you can book days ahead. So there was
3 days for people who are not staying on the park.
The rules had changed. And so what I was trying to figure out was is it true there are no more lightning lanes available for any of these rides? Therefore, can we get our money back? Because my friend just spent $18 per person because I told her a wrong thing. Where do we do that? Or can you help us figure out how to book one? That was my intention.
That was not my intention. That was not my intention, to be clear. My intention was to try to get us on the ride in the lightning lane right then and there.
And you won.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a fight. He was very kind about it.
Yeah.
He was trying to.
God, please
Well,
don't.
and we had also gotten at this time, we put ourselves into the virtual queue for Guardian of the Galaxy.
Got a spot.
So we got a spot. So we were in the virtual queue waiting for our time for Guardians of the Galaxy. We're going to go finish eating and do the Guardians at the very end was our hope, right? So we went into France.
Well, we
after
rode
Remy's.
Remy's.
These was fun.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah, it was cute. It was very cute. I had not been on Remy's before. We don't usually take the kids to Epcot when we go to Epcot.
Yeah.
Because our kids don't like Epcot that much.
Yeah, no, to be clear, we did Epcot 3 years ago, and it was the last day of our trip, and it was Florida cold because it was right after a front had blown through. And so it was 65 and
sounds nice.
windy. So we
Yeah.
ended up having to buy wool, flannel blankets in the Alps maybe or something, right? And we were
Yeah.
literally walking around Epcot with flannel blankets around us. So it was a little chilly, but Ryan literally just lived in the stroller, tucked into that, and his hand would just come out every so often for a snack, and then it would just go back. So we forgot he was with us half the time, except that we were pushing this stroller. But we did make time for Remy's when he was there, and it was so
my kids
fun.
don't let me forget them. So there would be none of
I've
that.
taken the kids to Epcot before, but never really spent time around the world. Like we would kind of ping pong between. We spent a lot of time in Norway with Luna. A lot. I've ridden Frozen many times, and then we did Remy's, but we never went around the world because they just didn't have the patience for it.
Yeah, my kids would have hated all of that.
I don't know that
No
we'll
way.
do it. So we're hoping to do a trip next year, and I don't know that we're going to do Epcot because our kid is a picky eater, and it's not going to be
Well, and
fun
Test
for her.
Track is closed,
Track's
and so
closed
some
for renovation.
There is a really good princess meal there, but you don't have a kid that loves that. Yeah,
Yep.
I can see that.
Yeah.
But the food in France was my favorite.
Yeah.
I
I
agree.
really
The
did
drinks
like
too were some of the best.
The
Yeah.
frozen
Rosé.
Cosmo. The frozen Cosmo was my favorite.
But I also really love goat cheese. And
I
so
really
there was
love
the
goat cheese, too.
caramelized onion one, which was really good, and then the creme brulee.
It was like a mango creme brulee.
Mango
Yeah.
passion
Wasn't it?
fruit.
Yep,
Yeah.
mango passion.
I feel like they really hit the nail on. Heavy. It wasn't too hot. It was like light and refreshing.
Yep.
And we had the frozen French Cosmo and then the gin cocktail. And they like put a double in our gin. Like I think she
did.
miscounted like when she was doing it. Like,
It was
because it
strong.
was a strong gin. But it's funny because Tania and I went up to go get the food. And when I'm traveling with you guys, I feel like we're always in like a Spanish speaking place.
Oh my God.
In France and Epcot?
Yeah.
made me so
So I'm in
no.
France and she's like handing me the stuff and I'm like, gracias.
Oh my God.
No. Whoops.
Wrong
my bad.
one.
But like we're usually in like Mexico.
Uh-huh.
So like my brain
And
just,
even
like,
when you travel, it's often
yeah,
to Mexico.
Right. So my brain like just associated.
You tried.
Fun.
A for
I was
effort.
like, gracias. No.
And they were all legitimately like from France. It was really fun. They were all
You know what?
speaking
It's so
French to each
funny,
other
'cause
in
I
the
wonder
thing.
how many of the people are actually from the country versus how many people are like,
Studied there or something.
or just like even faking it.
There
I don't know.
No,
there
there
were
were
some
plenty
very
of legitimate
convincing.
group in front of us of just visitors to Epcot that were French. And then they started speaking in French to all of the staff. And all of the staff was speaking in fluent French back to them.
Yeah.
So like whether or not they are Americans who have mastered French
Right.
and they put, a location in France on their tag, possible.
Right.
But like they had the goods to back it
Yeah.
up.
It was
for
just
sure.
interesting.
Is that
really-
the case in all the countries?
I
Do
really
they all
think
speak their
that
native
they-
language?
I don't think all, but I think there is for sure a significant amount of native from that country folks. I know, especially with the Disney internship program,
Right.
they do have a lot of international recruitment. So at least through Mexico, like folks that were in the Mexico booth and around were not all from Mexico. Like if you read their tags, some had different countries but they were for sure native Spanish speakers from other countries.
Well, and there is a Disneyland in Paris too, right? In France, so maybe there's like more.
Oh, that
of-
seems like a good day trip.
Not a day, Nichole.
that sounds like a great trip.
Agreed. Especially if Fairy Point's godmother wants to take us there. But then after, so we had a good time in France.
Yeah,
we were
that was
happy.
The Cosmo was the one thing I was like, can we get another one? And y'all were like, no, we got to get more drinks like further down. I was like, okay. That was
Yeah.
the one that I was like,
Because we were
I
trying
want
to
it.
just have one.
I was back by then. I was
Yeah.
like,
You were.
let's
You're
whip
back
it again.
online.
I feel like riding Remy's and having Louis turn like that after, like that was
And
like a turning
Ashley's
point for
neck
me.
fans. So we had the neck fans that like blow air just up and around your head, like all around your neck and your face, but not
love
like
it.
aggressively, right? And I started using that after we hit the Morocco Pavilion. And I think that was definitely a game changer. So it was hands-free, first of all,
Yeah.
because you're already juggling all the food and the drinks and the passport and all of that stuff. So
Yeah, I saw a lot of other folks with
Highly
them
recommend.
too.
Yeah,
They
there's
seem
lots
to
of
be getting
connections.
That
popular.
was smart. I also feel like about that corner is when we started to have more shade available to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that
Yes.
central part in the middle of the day really didn't have anything.
yeah.
That's true. Like everything was more lush, just more greenery in general.
Yeah.
Well, and then we went to
Well, the sun was
Canada.
starting to move,
Before
so that
Canada,
makes
we
sense.
power walked through London. And we were like through the UK and we
yeah.
we're like, is there food here? There probably was food there. There was a beer stand, but
There was
we're
supposed
not,
not
to
a
be,
ton.
but
They
we
weren't,
couldn't
like,
really find
in.
it.
not a ton. We took a picture with a red telephone booth and then power walked to Canada.
There was
where
a
Tania
mule-
showed
there
me
was a
something I
pumpkin
had
spice mule I
never
wanted, but
That was in Canada.
I had never found this place Tania took us to in Canada before.
Yeah.
I had no idea it was a thing.
TikTok for the win, y'all. I
mean,
did
I
my
hear ya.
homework on TikTok before this trip, and there is a there's a waterfall like in the back of Canada. So like you go in through La Cellier, I think, for the restaurant, and you like meander down. And she's like, no, that's for the restaurant. I was like, trust me, just follow me. And so you take the pathway that takes you to the restaurant, and then you just go past the doors for the restaurant, and you go into this little like wood walkway through rocks like overhead, and then it opens up to this beautiful like waterfall, and it was really refreshing.
I could have hung out
Misting
there.
us,
Yeah.
all over. It was really
I
pleasant.
think if I were to do it again, I would get a drink and then go and like hang out by the waterfall.
Oh, that's a good idea.
With the drink.
And then
there
you can
wasn't any
also go-
food. I thought it was going to be a cheesecake, but it was an ice cream.
Yeah, it was like
It was a
frozen.
cheesecake ice.
It was a guava cheesecake ice cream with like the tiniest bit. And I was so happy because it was so cold.
It was nice.
And you guys, I think, got mimosas again. And I was like, I'm good. Just leave me with my ice cream.
Needed pictures
We
for our
did.
final installation of our TikTok.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
The drinks.
TikTok.
Cheers.
The TikTok. We did the TikTok. Yes.
TikTok heard around the world.
The TikTok around the world. We did it with our, Taylor Swift song.
Yes. In our
That I missed something.
No.
and that we
It was
So-
stuffy in there.
Only
That was-
America has the American
that was
level.
disappointing. But we went to Turtle Talk, and that was kind of
that
meh,
was really
too.
cool. I
thought
thought.
it was.
I
It
mean,
was
I've never
cute.
seen anything like that before, so I thought it was cool.
I've been there times where it was like my stomach hurt. I was laughing so hard. And I've been there times
Okay.
where it wasn't. And so I think it's just, you never know with live comedy.
I liked
Yeah.
it when the kiddo asked him for all the names of his 64 children, and he named, I think,
I
60.
think
a lot.
he did.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. I was
I
like,
really
is
thought he was going to bail out halfway through, and
Yeah.
it just kept going. I was like, there must
I
be like a
appreciated it.
ChatGPT thing in the back that he's like typing this into to give him all these names.
I don't know. I thought it was
Probably
funny
have
because
them.
he's like Aiden, Braden, Jaden.
Oh, I liked the Michelle, her shell, Rochelle, my shell, your shell. It was funny. And then
Played.
And then
I thought like our Guardians time was like 7:30 and we were supposed to be like at the airport or leaving by 7. I was like, it's just not going to happen, guys.
so instead we went up to the Guardian
For some more birthday magic.
right for birthday magic. So like I went up to the lady at the Fast Pass lane with our Guardians.
Yeah, and I think I led with, hi, Morgan. Shout out to Morgan. I'm really hoping you can just give us a little
in the virtual queue. Yeah.
No, and I pulled up our boarding pass for Southwest, and I was like, "Here we are. See, we're supposed to be back on this flight at 9:00 tonight, so we need to, write it." And she's like, "Okay, perfect." And not only did she let us,
She didn't even
in
blink.
the-
She was like, come with me.
yeah, and not only did she let us in the virtual queue, she put us through the fast lane.
We got
also.
right
So,
on.
like it was like a 5-minute wait. to
That
get-
wasn't
Felt
even
So
illegal.
generous.
that
It
was
felt
not even
illegal.
what we had asked for. And the worst thing I never do that. So I feel like I felt
I do it
really
all the
empowered to like even ask. And I don't think we weren't lying. We were being, because I, for the most part, tend to think like you, Tania, of like, I'm not special. Everyone wants to ride. Who
Half
am
the
I
people
to?
here, it's their birthday
Yeah.
or it's their anniversary. Like everyone's celebrating something special. Like why am I more special than all the rest of the
I think
people
you were
here?
still 10 feet
I
behind
was
us.
still, yeah.
And then we were like, come on. And I thought she was just going to put us in the line to wait like an hour. And I was prepared to do so. But then we started walking and I was like, wait a second, guys. I'm pretty sure we're in the, and she did. She put us right in the fast
That's
lane.
right through the fast lane.
That was
and it's
really
so
sweet.
interesting. It was sweet. It's so interesting that you guys are like, the worst they can say is no.
Yes, I hear you. But also we got through and then all of those people waiting are watching that happen who are playing by the rules, who are doing
We didn't play against the rules.
None of their business.
I went and asked, and we got in.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with asking.
I was fully prepared to wait in the line with them. I just wanted, because normally they pull up like virtual queue 141. Like ours was just going to be later. And I know that sometimes people have a virtual queue and end up on the other side of the park or go home with a crying kid or at dinner. And so like I knew that there would be probably some wiggle room to put us in an earlier queue when we already had a queue number. I did not expect the special treatment.
Yeah. It was very, very kind. And we ended up getting to sit in the front car.
Yeah, we sat in the very
Very cool.
And I was just cackling the whole time. I was just laughing because I love that. I really actually love that ride.
It was an incredible ride.
yeah, I've never been on one like that.
To be clear, it was worth the wait. Like even if we had
Oh,
had to wait
yeah.
the whole time, it would have absolutely been worth it. And I don't know that I would say that about many of the rides. at
No.
Epcot.
But even better that we didn't have to wait.
I mean,
For sure.
Once I got over the embarrassment, I will say after that,
so funny.
I will say after that, this week, right? I tried to like embrace the big Nichole energy, and I've been trying to hunt down one of these stupid kids' Kindles for Ryan for like. They're on clearance for $35 at Target, but I missed the boat. Like, I think they're all gone. But I legit was like, you know what? We're going to ask somebody if there are any in the back first, right? That's totally normal. The kid was like, no, there are none in the back. There's none up front. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, Ryan, we should go to customer service and ask them. He's like, but he said there's none left. I was like, there's one on display.
Right?
Who knows?
You went to customer
So I
service
went to
and asked,
customer
and not in the
service.
electronics department?
Well, no, he was done with us. Like,
Oh,
he
okay.
was not helpful in that way. And I thought we needed somebody who could go above his head because
okay.
he was not the one.
But you embraced the like,
I
just
did.
ask, and
I
what's the
tried
worst?
to
They'll say no.
I tried to use it as a teachable moment and talk with Ryan. I was like, Ryan, we can ask and we can ask respectfully. Like, we can ask in not an entitled way. And so I went up to her and I was like, I have a strange question. I think I probably know the answer, but like, there's a display unit back there. And if you're clearancing all of them out, is there a world in which you can sell the display unit? Like, no returns allowed, like whatever. And she's like, no. She's like, those all go back to distribution. She's like, so that we are never in a position where like we have to sell it to people. And I was like, okay.
You asked though. I'm proud of
But
you.
I am proud of
now you know.
And like my son was reacting the exact same way. He's like, no, Mom, we should just go. Like we should go. And I was like, okay, we're going to break the cycle.
We're going to break the cycle.
We're gonna grow together here today, buddy. Like
I love that.
I would not have, I think, asked if it was just me.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's my birthday, make me special. But like, I felt empowered and I felt like the urgency of the flight was real. And I like to get to an airport early compared to some of my friends.
We roll up when we roll up.
Yeah. So I mean, that made my day. Just the like moments where things went our way. I was like, okay.
I will say
Then you
Disney.
threw away
really
the
did.
pin.
I did. Wait. I did. No, the pin started flying off during Guardians, and I literally was coming off because I felt it poking my neck, and then I grabbed it because I was like, I cannot have a flying needle pin like poking the people behind me, Tania and Ashley. So that's when it fell off first, and then I put it back on.
But I lost an earring on that ride.
Yeah.
I was really dizzy, like not pukey. And we had taken a Zofran, thanks to you and my previous experience with that ride. I knew to take one. But we went in to shop for T-shirts. And I had that moment probably you were feeling earlier where I was like, I just have to look at Nichole's T-shirt. There's like a lot going on around me. Like it felt like the world was spinning. And I was like, I'm just going to sit Like I'll just gonna stay here.
For anyone who has like equilibrium issues, that ride could be very problematic for you.
Yeah.
So just heads up.
But if you don't, it's so fun.
Yeah, I didn't have any issues on it.
Yeah,
We
I
all
loved
took
it.
Zofran.
No, I definitely like I was looking down to put something in my bag and I started like falling over a little
Yeah.
bit, like
Interesting.
totally unintentional. And I wasn't feeling sick. I just couldn't keep my
That's
balance.
how I was
And
feeling.
It was because
It was
of the way
wobbly.
that it spun you.
I was feeling really wobbly.
fascinating.
I do think the first car spun me less than I had ridden it 2 other times, more in the middle, and I felt like it's like
That's
my
good to know.
perception was it spun around more. Maybe true, maybe false. Might have been the
You could also
Zofran.
see people spinning.
Right.
I could
so
also
they're
see
spinning the
people
other
spinning.
We
way.
weren't seeing anybody spinning in the
So,
front. Like it was just.
I do think actually for me, because the other times when I was in the middle of the back without Zofran, it was not as pleasant for me, and I felt more like, oh, I need to puke. Where I didn't feel that this time, or maybe the cart didn't spin, or maybe it was what I saw.
Yeah.
But so I sat still, and then these people that worked there were like, "Are you okay?" It's like, I promise I'm okay. I just like. If I stay still, if I stand up,
need
like
to not
the world,
move.
I just need to not move. And she was like, so I'm literally stationed here for this exact purpose. And she had a guide dog with her. I didn't ask if it was her or why, because it's not my business.
dog,
But
yeah.
I hung out with the service dog, and she was like, let me get you some water. So she gave me a free water.
nice.
You guys were shopping. I could not follow you. It felt like the whole world was in fast forward and everything was moving, and I was gonna fall
Wow.
over.
And we were shopping for new T-shirts because we
We
smelled
so
We
smell.
so right.
We're like playing football all day. Gross.
and
Oh
we
my
were about to
God.
get on an airplane, and we were like, "Okay, we are going to need to do something about this."
It's
for
a
the
service to ourselves and everyone around us.
Yes.
We have new shirts.
And we do like to get matching shirts
Yeah,
when we
we
go
do.
places. Normally to support the local economy, but here, Epcot, whatever.
So we got new shirts, and then we headed. Then we left. Right, we did our
Yeah,
thing.
like right on time.
Right on
too.
time.
Early, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because your alarm went off when we were waiting for the
I
lift.
set an alarm 30 minutes ahead of when we had agreed we were going to leave the park, and that alarm went off
Just
while we were
6:30.
waiting for our Uber.
Yeah.
So walked in at 10:30. We were walking out at 6:30.
And our plan was to take our new T-shirts. We were gonna go to the airport lounge, and we were gonna shower at the lounge, at least rinse off and put our new shirts on.
Wait, for anyone who travels like me and just didn't even know that lounges are an option at airports,
At
these
some
two
airports.
lot of
bougie girls, right? Like that's the only way that you do it is you go.
Yeah.
You have membership sort of access, it sounds like, right?
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
go and you get to sit in a lounge, and with the money that you pay, you then get free drinks in there, free food,
Yep.
space to spread out a little bit, Wi-Fi connectivity, places to charge
Yep.
your devices, so that you're not just bunkering down at the gate, which
Yeah,
is
it's
how my
much
family
more comfortable.
rolls. So it was a whole different experience for me.
I'm glad you guys
And
got to
then some have
experience
showers
that.
in
Yeah,
them.
some
which
have
we
Yes,
got
not all do, but some do.
really excited for. And
Usually
then that
big
fell
international
through.
hubs.
Yeah. I knew they existed, but I had never been in an airport lounge
Yeah.
before. So that was my first time. Thank you, Ashley, for taking us. I was really sad when the bathroom showers were locked and they
I
said they had,
know.
air quotes, no towels. I still feel like that's false news, and she just didn't want to clean up after us.
Yeah, because it was end of the day.
Yeah.
So
She was not happy. It was a very rude shift from the hospitality at
Of Disney to the airport.
Yes.
hospitality at Orlando Airport.
Yeah, well, it's one
Disney
of the
needs their own airport.
Well, it's one of the
You're not
reasons
wrong.
why Disney is so you go back, because the amount of service and the things you get there and the way they treat your guests. Yes, they charge you a shit ton of money and you're paying out your ass for it, but the service is always good.
They do
It is.
amazing
And
job.
everything is clean. Every bathroom
Right.
was clean. The parks were clean.
Yeah,
Everything.
I never have an issue with it.
They are
So,
really working hard.
overall amazing trip. We should do it again.
I don't know
On
that I
Friday.
could do and not in that warm weather. I also feel like I saw when we were walking out at 6:30, it was so pleasant. It was the perfect
It was.
temperature. It was beautiful. And there were so many people walking in. They must be the Florida locals who go for dinner. That would probably be more enjoyable to just it was hard to eat for me to eat that much food in one day, even if it wasn't hot. So,
Yeah.
but I would,
we could
I
make
had
it a
good
one night
time.
thing next time.
Please.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fly down in the morning.
But
and
we were also
hang
being
and-
budget conscious, and adding
That's
a
true.
hotel costs money.
Correct.
Correct.
So it is doable.
Yeah.
It is. And we have time to get
And I
points
like that
for
we
next year.
said, I was literally laughing just when I was telling my husband what we were doing, and he was laughing because it was just enjoyable, the fact that we were pulling off an
And then you were all
Other
like,
friends.
wait,
No.
So
No.
then we rallied and we were
We
going.
rallied. And your other friends are always invited. It doesn't have to be just us.
Well, I'm pretty sure my friend Susan is going to be coming next time. She was like,
Oh, for sure.
Oh, that would be so fun to do with her.
She's
Yes.
like, I would like to go. And she's a travel agent, so we might be able to stay a night with like cheaper
Points. Yeah.
cheaper benefits there.
That'd
But
be so fun.
overall, it is doable. I don't want you to like restrict the fact that like we have such access to getting places here, direct flights, that like we could do a day trip. It was
Yep.
When you don't have kids. It would have been
Yeah.
too much with
No, no.
children.
Well,
but as adults,
bring your kids on.
I just want to be really clear
Yeah.
because, primarily we are moms and moms listen to this podcast. Maybe when my kids are older, but not now.
I felt like we were living our child free. Like if we were child free, like
Yeah.
that would be.
We
Oh,
could.
yeah.
all the time to places, right?
another
Well, we had
decade to
talked
go.
about doing a day trip down to Florida to go
Yeah.
to one of the resorts and do like a resort pass thing, like for a day, and
Yeah.
get to be on a beach in Florida for the day.
And now we
Then
know we
suddenly
can.
pivoted to Epcot was the day trip, the first one.
Because a 2-hour flight, in my opinion, is not much different than a 2-hour drive to the beach.
It went so fast.
No, I can tolerate a 2, maybe 3-hour flight. At the same limit in the car.
Especially if it's direct. I do feel like I wouldn't do it if it was a connecting flight.
No, too risky.
And you always have to be okay with the possibility that your flight is delayed or canceled and your plans go
I would
through
have
the
pivoted
frick.
us somewhere else.
I'm aware.
Our return flight home kept getting pushed back, and I was like, if it gets pushed back by like another hour, because we were still at Disney when it got pushed back, I was like, we're gonna stay. I'm excited.
I was prepared to stay, but there wasn't a good direct flight in the morning.
That's true. Yeah.
So all in all, thank you, Nichole, for pushing us
Yes,
to
thank
try new
you.
things.
I'd love to
And
go on an adventure.
it was quite memorable. And now we have matching hats and matching T-shirts. Like feels
so
like
like
we
when
might
my
just do it
birthday
again.
rolls around in February, and I'm like, we got to do something.
Well, no,
Yeah, where are we
talked about Harry
going?
Potter.
yeah.
Yeah. Harry Potter be fun.
I don't really have the budget
No,
for all this,
no,
but like
it's
I
far
have
away.
the
We have time.
desire and the time.
Excellent.
So
We'll figure out the
open
rest.
to flexibility on those terms.
Okay,
We will-
we'll figure it out.
We will be syndicated by then on ShePak.
I've gone before. I don't know if they do this year round, but I've gone before in January where they do like party nights where you buy like the Hollywood studios. They do them at all the parks, like a night ticket. And it didn't have everything open, but most of the big rides. And it was all you could eat popcorn, soft drinks, and those like Mickey Dilly bars that were included. And it was like the same price as a typical thing for the day, but I walked on to all of the Star Wars rides that night, and that was
Crazy.
so fun. So that would be another thing I would propose is trying to link up to when they do one of those nights, because the things we care about, like the good rides are there. Like they don't have the characters, they don't have the little kid stuff. And then you could probably like, it wouldn't be quite as hot.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
Get it? You don't want to go in September again. I'm here.
It's not just the September. I mean, it could have been 70. It could have been 100. Like, I feel like the weather is so variable. It wasn't September's fault. It happened to be a warm day, and it didn't rain. We had all these ponchos. We all carried ponchos, and it didn't rain.
It kept the rain away.
Never been to Disney where it didn't rain at least for 10 minutes.
Really? Okay. You lucked
Got
out.
lucky.
So got lucky.
But that is a wrap for Epcot, and we will have more adventures to come on other day trips. But hope that you guys learned something new, maybe about an Epcot Food and Wine Festival, and we can hear what you guys did there.
And their favorite foods. Like, I would love
Yes.
to.
Share your favorite foods, please.
And follow us on ShePak Unleashed, where you can see our beautiful TikTok. Also on TikTok, where we did the Florida.
Florida.
Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. And all the other platforms.
Thank you for being a part of our pack.
This is Ashley, Jenny, Nichole, and Tania signing off. Stay wild and fierce.
Perfect.
If somebody else can look at the Scarowinds
Yeah, I can do that
another time.
Yeah. Perfect.
Gonna
Do I
it.
need to take the sweater off?
It's up to you.
Is the sweater
I
okay?
think so. Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
But I know what we're running low on time.
Yep. Sorry.
No, you're good. I just have to be.
What time do you have to be out of here?
I have to be in Sanford at 4:30. So
Okay.
Okay, purchasing.
I was like, I didn't recognize that kid's voice. I didn't know who he was.
Is it Cam?
I didn't know I recognized his voice. He had no idea what spoken to me.
He who shall not be named.
You shall not be named. Okay, what's the name of this episode?
Oh.
Okay.
ShePak does Epcot. I don't know. Saturday, October 19th. Yes?
Correct. Okay. October.
Just check it because you know.
Oh, I bought things to make little charms. So if anyone wants to have like a girls' night making charms to exchange with people at the Ren Fair, it was something that we discovered us these adorable little charms, and like people start to collect them for all the Ren Fairs that they go to, and basically it's like a pin trader kind of situation at Disney.
Okay.
But for the Ren Fairs, and so I bought these like little dagger charms and glass looking beads for glass. So
I saved all of my soda can tops with that intention of like, we could spray paint this with, and I was going to take some spray paint and
Okay,
done now.
here are 5 options. ShePak eats conquering Epcot's food and wine in a day. ShePak
I like that, conquering in a day. I think
ShePak eats. I'm like, oh,
well, it's the conquering Epcot in a day. That's
ShePak
funny.
sips and savors, a one-day culinary adventure at Epcot.
I like
ShePak's feast.
That's hard to say.
Yeah. ShePak takes Epcot, tasting the world in 24 hours. ShePak's Bites and Brews, a one-day dash through Epcot's Food and Wine Festival.
that's cute.
Say it again. My brain went somewhere.
I'm like, dude.
Offline.
I was thinking she's do the keys. I was like, she's do Epcot, but sorry. Say it again.
ShePak's Bites and Brews, a one-day dash through Epcot's Food and Wine Festival.
A dash through is cute.
Dash or conquer. Like the one day and then it was fast and crazy is what I would like to focus on.
She eats conquering Epcot's Food and Wine in a day.
She eats
No,
a dash through
YouTube was
Epcot.
gonna do too much with that
She eats
title.
something else.
Well, she might.
Can that be a takeout?
Yeah, it's recording.
Excellent.
It's recording.
Yeah, don't do that.
I'm gonna.
No, I meant don't make that the title.
Oh, I was like, my favorite is like zooming in on your faces.
Sorry. I also threw my thing.
I put everything here for you.
Can't be contained.
Why can't we do She Eats?
It sounds vulgar.
Okay.
All of our brains went vulgar. The second.
So we're not doing She Eats. Do the other. What you can take the second half of that, but don't take the She Eats part.
I feel like there's something in front of my eyes, but I can't. The hair.
You look like you're making a potion.
There's like I can see like a hair, one of my like hairs, like, but I can't get it. Like I don't know where to. I don't know. I can see a hair. Anyways, okay. ShePak sips and savors.
Sure. But where's the fast one day part?
ShePak bites and brews, a one-day dash through Epcot's Food and Wine Festival.
We didn't have any beer.
What if we did She Eats, a one-day dash?
You just told me we can't do She
No,
Eats.
it makes me laugh.
I want to do She Eats.
She sips.
She sips.
Yeah, sure.
She eats. She
I
sips.
think I think we're trying to push the she thing. It doesn't.
I like it. She eats. She sips. She conquers Epcot.
Oh my God.
in one day. I mean, that.
I love that.
You have to do all of it.
Okay.
You're going to do it without laughing.
I mean, I can't, but we'll definitely go.
I love that.
This is clearly
Done.
for you to intro. Have fun with
Okay.
that. This is all your idea.
I know. I'm problematic. It's me.
We know.
Okay. On this week's episode, she eats, she sips, she conquers Epcot in 24 hours. No, not even 24 hours. In how many
18.
It
hours?
was like
18
less
hours?
than 24, yeah.
Wait, I need to know the hours.
Longest title ever.
How are you defining from like
Not from
left
your
my
wake
house?
up because nobody left your. Why'd you leave your house
So
so damn early?
I picked
So that
Tania
was
up at 6 and I got home by midnight. So that
I
was
got home
18
at
hours.
midnight.
Yeah, okay. 18 hours.
Okay, 18 hours. All right.
Yeah.
One more time.
I was like, is this the whole title? Sorry.
We're gonna try again.
Goes off the rails.
Always. Okay.